Hey everybody, Carl here. Welcome back to Trails to Azure, where we are standing in Orcus Tower during the West Zemuria Trade Conference. It looks to be going all right so far. We've done patrols on the various floors, and I'm ready to come talk to Dudley, who I believe might be the last person to check in with. There you all are. Have you noticed anything amiss?
No, not yet. That monitor over there gives you security overview of the entire tower at once, right?
Correct. We have access to every critical area of the building in real time. That includes the conference room, of course. Thankfully, this tower is equipped with the most advanced security system on the continent.
Numerous locations are beginning to incorporate video surveillance, as I recall, from the IBC to Orbital stores. I've never seen such a large quantity of them in one place, however.
How many there are is only half of it. The fact this technology even exists is amazing on its own.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them used to survey areas outside the city someday. The CGF's days might be numbered, no?
I don't think it'll ever be that simple. How widespread they become is going to depend on the public's approval. Digressions aside, they're more than a welcome convenience for this assignment. Without any lead on the terrorist plans, all we can do is nip things in the bud the moment they strike, whether right before or just after. That's why we have to keep our eyes sharp. We can't afford to overlook even the tiniest detail. If you come across anything suspicious, be sure to report it at once.
Understood.
We've been keeping in contact with our surrounding posts. Nothing out of the ordinary has been reported as of yet. You six should continue patrolling your assigned floors. I'll leave you to it. Alrighty. Let's go. The last part where we haven't gone is over here. So there we go.
Alright, that's one patrol down. Nothing unusual to report at the moment.
Yep, so far so good. We might as well make another loop around.
Good plan. You know, I can't help but wonder if the conference is going smoothly.
Me too. I know the mayor and speaker are doing their best. That's a tough room they've got in there.
The Blood and Iron Chancellor and President Rocksmith present the greatest challenge.
That they do. Want to ask someone how it's been going during the intermission? The same day, 3:05 p.m. The trade conference finally reached its halfway point. Before the intermission officially began, the heads of state held a brief press conference for the media. So many important people gathered in one room. Meanwhile, Lloyd and the others took the opportunity to speak with Mr. Grimwood, who had started his break ahead of the others.
Oh, that explains it. Things being as precarious as they are, the SSS was asked to assist with its security detail.
Exactly. I'm not sure how much of a difference we really make in the grand scheme, though. It may only be additional peace of mind.
Don't sell yourself short, my friends. You're the team that thwarted an assassination attempt on our previous mayor. It's reassuring to have you all here.
That's kind of you to say.
Yeah, thanks for the vote of confidence.
How is the conference going, Mr. Grimwood? Things appear to be proceeding smoothly thus far.
That's a fair assessment. Talks are slow but steady for now. The participating nations have already agreed to several trade deals. Mayor Croy's efforts are truly beginning to pay off for all of us.
Thank goodness. That puts my mind at ease.
Slow but steady, for now, you say? Do you think things may get rocky in the second half?
Oh? Is there something you're concerned about?
I doubt I hold the jurisdiction to tell you this, as an observer on the sidelines. But the focal point of the first half of the conference centered on proposals that affect such fields as trading and finance. The second half, on the other hand, will be reserved for proposals from each of the various heads of state. That is undoubtedly when the topic of Crossbell's defenses will be addressed.
But if they do that...
It'll only be a matter of time before the foreign military presence enters the equation.
But what about the non-aggression pact? It's only been 2 years since it was signed.
The Queen Liberal did push the pact into being with Crossbell's best interests in mind. But technically, 2 of the nations participating today never signed that pact. Remiferia and, well, Crossbell itself. In light of that, it's only inevitable that a new continental security framework will be discussed.
Likely so. My grandfather shares your concerns and expectations both. Would drafting up a new pact and having Crossbell sign it this time not be the simplest solution? It has to be. They could model the framework after the non-aggression pact and prohibit military force between all the nations. Oh, I get it. Crossbell isn't technically a nation. The Empire and the Republic only recognize Crossbell as an autonomous state.
It's as you say. Crossbell lacks the sovereignty to enter an international treaty. Economic arrangements alone are not grounds for the state to enter into a formal pact as its own entity. That fine line we tread is precisely what puts the state of Crossbell in jeopardy.
I'm sorta getting it, but this definitely isn't cut and dry.
Excuse me, but I have something I would like to ask. Crossbell is not the only autonomous state on the continent. Lehman, Orid, and Northumbria, for instance. Are those states also barred from entering the international treaties?
No, they're not. It's true that each state has its own set of historical circumstances as to why they've remained states instead of forming nations. However, each has also been recognized by the major powers as independent, with sovereignty of their own.
So they have equal standing? Exactly. They're treated very differently than Crossbell. Primarily because their sovereignty is recognized by the holy city of Arteria. The holy city of Arteria? As in the high seat of the Septian Church? Yes. As the city states, Arteria's territory is small, but the church holds religious authority across the continent. Numerous autonomous states and free cities owe their establishment due to the church's aid. And you have Crossbell, whose autonomy was gifted to it by Arios and Kilika. That's how we're in the unique position of having 2 suzerain powers above us. And that has historically led to Crossbell being dragged into their conflicts time and time again. If Crossbell only had a modicum of sovereignty, we could work to improve the situation. But if consent from both countries is what it will take for that to become a reality, then there's basically no hope. I wish I could disagree. Put that way, it does seem bleak.
Getting back to the topic at hand, I would expect the Chancellor and President to have their ideas regarding Crossbell's security. Naturally, each country's terms for their respective proposals will differ vastly. The Speaker and Mayor will have to be wary of what we stand to gain or lose. Apologies, my young friends. I'm sure you already have enough on your minds. Remember that Speaker McDowell is no stranger to matters such as these. And I get the sense that Mayor Croy still has some cards to play himself.
You think he has a plan? But what could it be?
I don't know the particulars myself. Nevertheless, it could very well...
Sorry, I should take this. Special Support Section, Lloyd Banning speaking.
Bannings, the press conference has concluded. The dignitaries are now headed to the 36th floor. Where are you?
Oh, we're still in a break room on the 34th. Was there something you needed us to do?
Yes, actually. We were contacted by both Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith. They each requested to speak with the SSS during the intermission.
They what?
Given who they are, I hope you understand we're in no position to turn them down. The SSS is to visit the both of them during the intermission, and that's an order. The President is staying in the furthest room of the West Wing corridor, while the Chancellor is in the furthest of the East.
Hold on a second. I get that we can't refuse. Why ask for us? This is a lot of pressure, Dudley.
Don't be such a child, Bannings. There's an excellent opportunity to get some insight on what each side is after.
You're right. Okay, we'll head there right away.
Lean on McDowell if the going gets rough. she's the one on your team best suited to handling these situations. Report to me once you're finished.
Understood. What was that about, Lloyd?
You were getting real riled up there. What's going on, bud?
Brace yourselves.
Lloyd explained to the others that both Chancellor Osborne and President Rocksmith had requested a private audience with them.
Excuse me?
You're joking.
Not that I can discern. He seems entirely serious.
This is certainly a surprise. The Special Support Section's name is more well known than I thought.
I don't know about that. I suspect it's because we're familiar with several members of their personnel. That's the only reason for their interest in us that I can think of.
You might be onto something there.
Regardless of the reason, there's no way we could possibly decline. Don't I know it? Let's head up to the 36th floor. Dudley said their rooms are on the furthest ends of the east and the west wings. We don't want to keep them waiting. Roger. Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Receiving an audience with the heads of state of both major powers is something substantial, no matter the reason. I'm sure you're apprehensive, but an opportunity like this is worth taking advantage of. At the very least, being able to size both men up in person should be a valuable experience for you.
I was thinking the same thing. Well, we'll head over to see them now. Please excuse us, Mr. Grimwood.
Man, that's gonna be fun. I do want to get more of a beat on those boys. Shouldn't call them boys. You know, I'm not sure where Vice Commissioner Pierre headed off. He's been gone for a while now. Maybe went to the security command room? Oh boy. Pierre. Let's snoop about a bit though before we do that. Yo!
Halfway through the conference, and things are still situation normal. Our goal is to detect any terrorist activity before they strike, but I wouldn't complain if nothing wound up happening.
How are you and your men faring, Captain Grants? Just fine. Everyone's standing by on high alerts. They're used to being ready for an emergency at any moment. I suppose they would be. That's reassuring to hear. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to go over how our forces will be deployed for the second half of the conference. Even if those terrorists don't show during the intermission, there's still the latter half of the conference, or even after the session closes. I hope I'm overthinking it, but it's too soon to start calling it a day on things. We'll be ready when the time comes, that much I'm sure of. What are you doing here? You should visit the Chancellor and President while there's still time. I hope I don't have to tell you that it wouldn't be wise to keep them waiting. Yeah, but I got my own schedule, Detonator. Our forces have been scouring the premises for hours, but we still haven't seen hide or hear of any of the terrorists. Just where could those lowlifes be hiding? We haven't picked up any suspicious activity in or out of the city for the time being. Our surveillance teams reported no movement whatsoever from Heiyui or the Red Constellation either. I wish I could call that a good sign, but all it does is make me feel uneasy. This may only be the calm before the storm. Security procedures remain the same, whether the conference is in session or not. Even with security this tight, we still have to remain vigilant of any potential avenues that terrorists may try to break through from. There are several possibilities, so we're all keeping our ears to the ground. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Let's check in here. I'm amazed how many agreements have been reached regarding the continent's economy. This could very well be the influence of Mayor Croy's concurrent role as CEO of the IBC. I don't think it's a stretch to say that economic development is the key to maintaining peace across Lemuria.
Hey there, Lloyd and Company. How's security detail going? Peachy? For now, at least. What about you? Did you manage to get the scoop you were looking for? Oh, you know it. We've been doing pretty well for ourselves so far. Speaking of which, I might end up writing a genuinely positive article for once. All I need now is some material with a little more zing to it. Something the public would eat right up. I'm sure you already know this. But please don't go sneaking off someplace you're not supposed to. Our jobs are tough enough as it is. I won't. I was going to make Rains do the... oh, it was more like... I won't. I was going to make Rains do the... I mean... Listen, I promise I won't break any rules, okay? See? No fingers crossed or anything, so come on, don't worry about it. I'm more worried than ever now. As am I. I, Grace Lynn, do swear by oath to follow the rules. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go report in to my editor before heading over to the break room.
I'm amazed at how many agreements have been reached.
I'd say the first half of the conference went well, despite any hidden agendas that major powers have up their sleeves. Revitalizing the continental economy is a welcome suggestion as far as Liberal and Remiferi are concerned.
It's rather unusual for the two major powers to compromise on cross-belt state proposals to this extent, don't you think? Granted, the two have a vested interest in seeing the state prosper, but it's still a shock to see.
I just wonder what kind of thing like Chancellor Osborne's gonna say. What's his demand gonna be? What's he gonna lay down?
That's right. All nations agreed on that issue as well. Go ahead and forward that to our main office.
Looks like he's making a call on his Enigma. Most likely to his colleagues outside the tower. I guess his job is providing them with a little play-by-play on what's happening inside the conference.
Sounds like a rough job. Boring, too.
I think it's exciting. How many times must I tell you? The press isn't allowed past here.
It's still intermission though, right? Can't you just, look the other way? We promised we only want to take a few photos. They won't even know we're there.
That's right. I can't go back to Grace empty-handed. Please let us through.
Persistent as ever. Good luck trying to tell a reporter where they can and can't go. Well, as long as no one is trying to physically force their way through, they're not breaking any rules. I guess so. This is all just part of being a member of the press, right? Either way, we may as well give up any hope of using the elevators right now.
Alright, I see. Trying to funnel me. You're trying to funnel me, game. I'll get funneled. I'll jump right in that funnel. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Sounds pretty fun. Alright, and bada-bada-bada-bada. The 35th floor. Let's go in here.
Is that Arios and Kilika? I believe so. What could they be talking about?
Nearly a year has gone by since you left the guilds. Are you adjusting well to your new job?
More or less. Though the workload is so much heavier, it doesn't even begin to compare.
So I imagine.
And how has Shizuku been?
As cheerful as ever, though sometimes I feel as though she's a bit too accommodating for a child her age. She was recently blessed with a wonderful friend as well. I've noticed that she smiles more often since then.
That's good to hear. It's already been half a decade since Saya's passing, hasn't it? Not to mention 6 years since our first meeting.
That's right. 6 years. You were wandering the continent when you came across Saya in Crossbelt City by chance. As I remember it, she insisted you stay with our family while you were in town, no matter how much you tried to refuse. Imagine my surprise when I saw you working for the Bracer Guild in Liberal 3 years later.
The goddess works in mysterious ways. You never quite know what threads will end up tying people together. I'll never forget the hospitality the two of you showed me back then. My only regret is that I was unable to return the favor to her.
There's no need to dwell. The fact that you remember it to this day would be more than enough for Saya.
Sounds like those two knew each other from before they met through the guilds. Evidently so, but I feel like it would be rude to listen in any further. I agree. We should leave before we interrupt them.
I just remembered. Estelle and Joshua wanted to see you when you came earlier in the year. They were disappointed to miss you when they heard you and Lynn had lunch together during the anniversary festival.
Were they? It was my intention to give them the cold shoulder. If time had permitted, I would have been more than happy to do a little catching up. That being said, I have heard plenty about their achievements while they were here in Crossbell. It's amazing to think those are the same two rookies who came through the doors of the Zeiss branch 2 years ago.
Indeed. They were invaluable to us during their stay. I should have expected as much from a pair that was raised by Cassius. I look forward to seeing how they continue to grow.
That's right. Kilika used to be a Bracer Guild receptionist in Liberal.
That explains how she knows Estelle and Joshua.
It's a small world, as they say. People often have fewer degrees of separation between them than you'd expect.
Incidentally, I've heard that you've been keeping in contact with Zin.
You could say that. Though we rarely get the chance to meet anymore, our positions being what they are. That's enough eavesdropping for one day. We should move along.
Okay, I've gotten cut off now. That was good.
The staff members are currently resetting the conference room. You're free to enter if you like. There haven't been any reports of potential terrorist activity so far. I like to believe our security is just that airtight, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. Until the conference is over and done, we need to remain as vigilant as we've ever been. The conference is only half over. I'm not dropping my guard for 1 second until we get the all clear.
Let's check it out. Wipe. Phew, there we go. It's up to us to make sure the attendees have a nice tidy room they can feel comfortable in for the second half of the conference. I promise to give this table a wipe down of a lifetime. The Vice Commissioner looks so apprehensive standing there. I wonder what's on his mind. Don't worry, I won't bother him. I'm just worried is all.
Yeah, I'll go see what he's up to.
Hello?
All right, now to straighten out this microphone. I have to admit, I get a bit jittery thinking of how some of the most powerful people on the continent were sitting here just moments ago.
Pierre?
My, what an amazing view. It's difficult to imagine any terrorist would take wing in such beautiful skies. Yes, that's right. A mere notion is absurd. There's simply no way it could ever happen. He doesn't sound too convinced. Terrorists? A mere notion is absurd. I must be overthinking things.
Oh boy.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. Let's go through here.
I spotted Mr. McLean having a conversation with President Rocksmith's aide in the waiting room down the hall. They seem to already be acquainted. I wonder just what the relationship is.
Hello? Angie? Yeah, we're in the middle of an intermission. Oh, that's right. Class 7 is at Gorelia Fortress right now. I'm a little worried about what the Imperial Liberation Front is up to, but they should be fine as long as Crow's with them. I'll keep an eye out over on my end, so you guys be sure to do the same. Huh, that's not like any orbment I've ever seen before. Must have been co-developed by the Foundation and the Rhymeford Company. Whatever it is that girl was talking about though, she seemed pretty on top of it all. Not just anyone can do that sort of thing.
Indeed. So as you might have guessed, Trails to Azure overlaps with the events of Trails of Cold Steel, like 1 and 2, somewhere in there. So it's kind of impossible to play them in a way where, you know, you could like swap to Trails of Cold Steel like halfway through this and like then see Class 7 go for a bit and then jump back. There's ways to do it, but I still want to play the games chronologically, even if it means we get some peeks and hints at what will come in the next Cold Steel games. Huh? You love me? Angie, this is a serious situation here. I'll keep an eye out over on my end, so you guys be sure to do the same. I'd forgotten that woman's libido. This is the waiting room for those accompanying the representatives from Erebonia and Liberl. Which means that just minutes ago, the Julia Schwartz was standing right in this spot. It makes me want to scream. Man, oh man. All right. Huh?
Ah, it seems the elevator's arrived. How about that? Please, after you. Oh, I couldn't. You go on ahead. It's quite alright. I promise you I'm in no particular hurry. No, I insist. You were here first. What's up, Lloyd?
Take a look at those two soldiers by the elevator. They appear to be trying to compromise on who rides the elevator first. This is kind of painful to watch. Look at them go, like an awkward couple on a first date to the anniversary festival. We can forgo using the elevator for now, if only to spare us the emotional turmoil. Yeah, good call.
Alright. Funnel me up the stairs.
That's... I see. And that's when you ran into Lucy.
Yep. I was only Remiferi on business, too. Guess she caught wind. I tried to run, but she caught me. Yeesh. I must be losing my touch. Can't even guess how many bonks over the head she gave me.
Not a one. She hugged you, instead, with tears in her eyes, didn't she?
Dang it.
I can tell exactly how Lucy feels, you know? She's probably well aware just how dangerous your day-to-day is. I'm sure she's been worried sick.
Man, a woman's intuition is no joke. It makes my spine tingle. I never do know how to handle them.
Maybe, but you brought it upon yourself. This really does take me back. It's been so long since I've seen Leo, too. I'd love for all of us to have a reunion. Why the long face, Lechter? Isn't this the part where you say, yeah, let's all have a bash at Michelin and party till we drop?
Not a bad impression. No promises, but I'll see what I can do. Just don't hold your breath, alright?
I know, but you won't be able to stop me from looking forward to it anyway. Now then, I should be going, if you'll please excuse me.
No prob. And hey, don't forget to say hi to Sieg for me. I still owe him that salami. Damn, she's really coming to her own. Well, the girl couldn't ask for a better crown princess. You guys think so too, right?
Busted. Sorry, we didn't mean to eavesdrop. We didn't hear much, I assure you.
Didn't you, Ellie? You seemed very invested in their relationship from where I was standing.
Tio?
Well, she ain't the only one. You and the princess sure seem close. What's the story there?
I was her upperclassman back in school. Not Sunday school. Janice Royal Academy, to be specific.
Janice Royal Academy? That's one of the world's most prestigious institutions, isn't it? That's right. It's not unheard of for them to accept students from abroad, but...
Did you study there on taxpayers' money? Nah, old man Gilead paid my tuition out of pocket. Well, it's about time I hit the old dusty trail myself. Oh, that reminds me. You got called in to talk with the head honchos, right? They're both real pains in the ass to deal with, so good luck in there.
What? A walking enigma, that man.
Could he be any more sketchy if he tried?
Who'd have thought the next Queen of Liberl went to school with an imperial spy? Truth is stranger than fiction, as they say. Whatever the case, we can't forget that he's subordinate of the Blood and Iron Chancellor. As for what he's after personally, I think we'll have to figure that out for ourselves.
Alright, let's continue. This is His Lordship Prince Albert's room. Speaker McDowell is currently paying him a visit inside. However, I've been instructed to let you pass. You're welcome to enter if you'd like. I would like to come inside this room right here and talk to these guys. We're done deliberating for now, but I'm absolutely exhausted after facing both Osborne and Rocksmith at once. Oh, now, don't sell yourself short, your lordship. You've grown quite capable of commanding the room when needed. I'd say your predecessors will be proud of the way you handled yourself in there. It's been 5 years since I ascended to the throne. Rumiferia's domestic order has finally been secured, but I have much to learn as a statesman. Ah, look who it is. Thank you again for all your help yesterday. Good afternoon, Special Support Section.
Pardon our interruption.
I did hear about your being added to today's security detail. We appreciate your service. It's my understanding that you once even saved Speaker McDowell's life. It would seem we're in good hands.
I think you may be expecting a little too much from us.
Not at all. I too find your presence here most reassuring. We'll need that peace of mind to properly navigate the second half of the conference.
About that, do you expect the upcoming discussions to become problematic, Grandfather?
I do. Unlike the first half, I suspect the faults of Crossbell's state will be thrust into the spotlight one after another, to which the major powers will no doubt be as demanding as they've ever been. However, I'm also concerned about theater. During our latest diet session, it was rather enthusiastic about introducing some truly radical ideas. Such drive comes with youth. I do respect that. However, I worried about what direction it might take us today.
I hadn't thought about that way. Mr. Grimwood alluded to Mayor Croyce having some kind of plan for the last half of the conference.
I can't profess to know the details myself, but I'm certain he'll bring it to the table sooner or later.
And whether it turns out for good or for ill depends entirely on how the conference proceeds. Isn't that right, Speaker?
Precisely. As Speaker, it is imperative that I lend my utmost support to Mayor Croyce during the trade conference. It's no simple duty, to be sure, but I will do that when I can to fulfill it.
Of course. Best of luck, Grandfather.
None of us can afford to lose our focus during the second half of the conference. Also need to be especially wary of whatever security proposals the two major powers bring to the floor.
As Speaker, it is imperative that I lend my utmost support to Mayor Croyce during the trade conference. It's no simple duty, to be sure, but I will do what I can to fulfill it.
Whew. You're the special support section, correct? Princess Klaudia told me to let you pass. Feel free to go in if you'd like to visit. I would. Hey, girl.
May I ask you a question, Seek? How do you suppose Grandmother would have handled this if she'd been the one to come? Scree! You have a point. I suppose I can't help being the way I am. Oh, hello, SSS. Sorry for interrupting, Your Highness. It's nothing to concern yourselves over. I was merely thinking aloud. To be honest, I'm glad you came to visit. Your Highness? Are you also concerned over what may happen during the second half of the conference? Partially, yes, but I was actually reflecting on something a tad broader. As Crown Princess, I have a fair bit of knowledge when it comes to diplomatic negotiations. But to be a good negotiator takes many skills: insight, judgment, and objectivity, for instance. The first half of the conference made me painfully aware I still have room for growth in those particular areas. So that's what's bothering you.
Give yourself some credit. Knowing where you can improve is half the battle.
That's right. And you're still only as old as Lloyd, Ellie, and myself, Your Highness. You're an inspiration, if you ask me. That's very kind of you to say. Still, being timid in a room like that is unavoidable at this stage in my career. But though the continent's troubles wait for no one, I nevertheless have to learn at my own pace and take everything in stride. That's a good approach. Just don't forget to cut loose and relax every now and then. Like now, for example, you only get one intermission. It'd be a shame to waste it. Wazy, I swear to Adios, if you're thinking of inviting her out for a drink, or worse... It's alright. I was never one for excessive formalities. The lack of it is quite relaxing, actually. Though now that I think about it, perhaps nostalgic is a better word. When I'm around all of you, I feel as if I'm speaking with Estelle, Joshua, and the rest of our friends. I'm not sure we can really compare, Your Highness. Well, I'd have to disagree with you on that. Ah, yes. Would any of you care for some tea? No, we couldn't possibly... As much as I would love to, we have somewhere else we need to be. My apologies. I should have anticipated that. I won't keep you any longer. Please be careful today, everyone. I wish you all the best. And rest assured that I'll be giving my very utmost during the second half of the conference. We'll be rooting for you, Your Highness. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with me, everyone. Let's all focus on what's to come during the next phase of the conference.
Scree, scree!
It's the 3 big arcs are meeting. We have Liberal, we have Crossbow, we have Erebonia. It's all in one location. Like, all the timelines are overlapping, and I'm just here for it. You're the special support section, correct? Oh, right, sorry. Help. Back at the Klaudia room. Alright. Alright. You guys ready? We've been expecting you. You're the Crossbow Police Department Special Support Section, correct?
We are. Is this the president's room?
Yes. I've been instructed to let you pass. Please, make your way inside.
Thank you. Pardon us. I can't believe we're about to meet the president of one of the 2 largest nations on the continent.
You said it. Even I've got butterflies in my stomach.
Excuse us, Mr. President. We were told you requested to meet with the Special Support Section.
Thank you all for coming. But please, no need for all the pomp and circumstance. Go ahead and have a seat.
Oh, sure. That's very kind of you, Mr. President.
My invitation must have come as quite a shock to you. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your own busy agendas for this. Though I imagine you must be very busy yourselves.
Oh, no, not at all. It's an honor just to be in your presence.
You're Speaker McDowell's granddaughter, isn't that right? We met once before at a celebration of some sort, if I recall correctly.
That's right. We first spoke back when I had the opportunity to visit Calvert with my grandfather. That was 2 years back.
Ah, yes, now I remember. You know, I was surprised to hear your grandfather chose to take up the post of Speaker instead of seeking re-election. I truly admire how passionate he still is at his age. He's a model statesman, if I may say so.
I'm sure my grandfather would be flattered to hear that. Not to change the subject, Mr. President, but what was it you called us here for?
Ah, well, truth be told, I've already heard all about you SSS fellows from Kilika. This year's Schwarzsee auction sounded like quite the affair, wouldn't you say? Frankly, former Speaker Hartman and I were never on the best of terms. Selfish as it may seem, I've been eager to meet the group that tipped the first dominoes that led to his downfall.
We're honored, sir.
Yeah, but real talk, we didn't do much. Guy just couldn't stop shooting himself in the foot.
Very true. He made his own bed the day he became involved with the cult.
Ah, yes, who could forget them? The DG cult. Their treachery spread across the entire continent, but no nation was more affected than my own. I owe you my thanks for putting a stop to them once and for all.
You're welcome, but really, we were only doing our jobs. Honestly, I'd say our contributions didn't really amount to much in the long run.
No need to be so humble, my boy. I heard things were rather dire. Even your guardian force was being manipulated. Yet in the face of it all, you still managed to quash the cult and keep that little girl safe. Great goddess in the sky, those are no small achievements to speak of.
Wow, you flatter us, Mr. President. Truly, I am not sure we deserve such high praise.
Oh, but you do. Had Crossbell fallen to the cult, I don't know what would have become of us. If those dastardly villains took hold of the IBC, international trade and finance would have come to a screeching halt. And I'm sure you don't need me to tell you how severe the consequences of that would be for our economy.
That's true.
All the more reason I like to acknowledge your valor. I think the fitting thing to do would be to award you each a medal. Yes, that sounds perfect. I'll have the arrangement made as soon as I return to the Republic.
No, you don't have to do that. Is it even appropriate for citizens of Crossbelt to receive rewards from the Republican government?
Besides, we already got more recognition than I could handle from Granddad McDowell. Truly, I don't see any faux pas to be had about it at all. Your troubles are your own as well. After all, the Republic does hold suzerainty over Crossbell. We all know that word around this table, don't we?
Mr. President.
Now, keep your faces like that and they'll stay that way. You received an invitation from our friend, the Blood and Iron Chancellor too, did you not? I would be delighted to speak with you all more, but I think my turn is over. Not to fear, I'll see to it that you receive those awards we spoke of. Keep an eye out for them, all of you.
Man, he's messing with us. Thinks he owns us.
Thank you for your visit. You can find Chancellor Osborne's room at the end of the opposite wing.
Right. Thanks. We appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Farewell.
He was something, wasn't he? Exactly what I'd expect from a major political figure. Capable and devilishly cunning. Could you at least wait until we're not standing in front of his room, Wazy? To be fair, the president never made much of an effort to hide it. I doubt he was intentionally trying to place pressure on us, but that doesn't change the fact that he did. I think he was trying to keep up appearances more than anything. As Calvert's president, it would be good publicity to honor the ones who were credited with resolving the cult incident. Not to mention, he said that Crossbell's troubles are theirs as well, which reaffirms that he sees Calvert as Crossbell's rightful owners.
Man, you telling me that was the whole reason they called us in there? These big shot leaders got egos as wide as their country's borders.
Without a doubt. Even Diet members from an autonomous state like this have nothing on them. We still have to speak with the Chancellor. What do you think he wants from us? I couldn't say. We're probably going to want to brace ourselves either way.
Can I go back in? Aha! Thank you for your service today, Special Support Section. The President was very delighted to meet you all. Indeed. Ah, you haven't left yet. Perhaps you'd like to join me for some tea, then. They've even provided me with these lovely sweet buns. Please, make yourselves at home.
Thank you for the offer, Mr. President. But we really couldn't. That's right. Forgive us for interrupting.
Crisis averted, guys. He likes the Mishi buns. Alright. That would have been an international farce. I saw Princess Klaudia a few moments ago. I knew she'd be here, but I could still hardly believe my eyes. Being so close to so many dignitaries at once has me starstruck. I don't think I could live with the shame of letting them down. That's a good enough reason to stay sharp today. Know the feeling, man. Yo! The Protectors. The Guardians. Ah. Good to see you again, SSS.
Did you have a status update to make? Nothing to report for now. What about the two of you? Have you learned anything? Unfortunately not. Things have been quiet thus far.
We're exhausting every avenue on the Erebonian side of things as well. But unfortunately, neither the nobles nor the reformists are intent on giving us any leads to work with.
That's unfortunate.
A big goose egg from both Imperial factions then, huh? They seem like real peaches to deal with.
Yesterday, Prince Olivert mentioned the possibility of creating a third faction, didn't he? It's been on my mind ever since. If you wouldn't mind, Major, could you tell me more about his intentions? Helly.
Well, it's only natural you'd be curious. I'm not supposed to say much, but I don't think there'll be any harm in sharing a bit with the SSS. To put it metaphorically, you could say the prince is attempting to shatter some long-standing barriers.
Barriers, huh? Yeah. Wow, now you're speaking my language, Mueller. That's something we're all too familiar with.
Basically, there are irreconcilable differences between the noble and reformist factions. I did not say that right. Hold on, let me do it. Consolable? Irreconcilable.
differences. But that won't stop him. He aims to have the two come to terms anyway, as absurd as that sounds.
The prince is trying to get the reformist and noble factions to reconcile? I understand his starry-eyed idealism. Isn't the divide between the two sides as wide as Gorelia Canyon itself? Did I say understand instead of underestimated? Man, so many words today. Wheezy, don't be so rude.
Huh, he's absolutely right. Still, the prince has committed himself to dancing toe-to-toe with a monster, despite how ludicrous it may appear. He's fully aware of what people call him behind his back. A showy, debaucherous bastard prince whose only concern is his leisurely wants. Let them talk. I've decided to stand by him regardless.
I see. That's very admirable. The prince will always have an ally in Liberl, Major Mueller, just as Princess Klaudia has stated. We may not always be able to intervene directly. We'll assist you both in any way we can.
Thank you, Senior Captain. I'm truly grateful.
The prince must truly be loved to have so many valuable allies.
I don't know if I go that far. There's no question that he has a certain effect on people. Still, the best thing that could happen today would be the trade conference ending without incidents. That is the objective. We'll be counting on you if the situation calls for it, Special Support Section. The best thing that can happen, we'll be counting on you.
Incidentally, I believe I saw Her Highness emerge from the stairwell a moment ago. Well, no matter. She's too strong to let that man weaken her resolve. I'm worrying myself over nothing. Is she talking about Lechter? Sounds like there's some history there.
Senior Captain Schwartz. I'd clock into work in a heartbeat if I had her for a boss. Wait, what the heck am I thinking? I gotta snap out of it. I can't be getting complacent. Not while I'm assigned to such an important post. That's right. Get back to work. Phew. Each of the dignitaries had such a commanding presence. I can't help but hold my breath every time one of them walks through here. Can I snoop here? I can. Now I can do it, because now, technically, they wanted me in the stairwell for Klaudia and Lechter, I assume.
That must be the Chancellor's room. The intermission will likely be over by the time we're done speaking with them. We should take care of anything else we need to do beforehand.
I appreciate you so much, Lloyd. These are the things I need to hear. We're halfway home. Now we just have to survive the second leg of the conference. Things are only going to get more difficult from here on. I hope the Speaker and Mayor are up to the task.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you're looking for Mayor Croyce, he's in Prince Oliver's room at the moment. Speaker McDowell, on the other hand, is in Prince Albert's room in the West Wing. There should be no issue with you dropping in to visit either of them if you would like.
I would like to see Mayor Croyce, so thanks for telling me. Yo! I see. We share the same hopes for the bright men and women that will one day lead our people.
Indeed. What's truly special about them is their hearts and minds. So pure, yet fertile, like a garden basking in the morning dew. That's why more and more of... Good afternoon, Special Support Section. Care to join in on our chats? Sure, if we're not interrupting, that is. What were the two of you discussing?
His Highness here happens to be on the board of directors for a prestigious military academy in Erebonia. We were just discussing the finer details of his duties.
The board of directors? Those will be the individuals responsible for how the school is operated, correct?
Damn, that's one hell of a side gig.
It's just another one of my many schemes to get my name out there, is all. I think the mayor here has contributed far more than I have. You're involved too, Mayor Croyce?
We simply meant as a business partner. The IBC is the Epstein Foundation's benefactor, and it just so happens that the foundation is part of a major test being held by the Academy.
Really? I had no idea.
That does remind me. I've heard that orbital network tests have also begun in the Empire.
No surprise the continent's largest bank has clout in every country in some form or another. Quite right. I dare say our little talk today was preordained by the goddess herself. What do you say to being a guest lecturer at the Academy one day if the opportunity arises? Though I'll have to warn you that faculty-student relationships are strictly prohibited. The way you say that almost makes it sound like you're encouraging it. An amusing fellow like yourself must be quite popular, Prince Olivert. I may just have to steal you away for a night of drinks once this is all over. I'd love nothing more, my friends. We'll have a rousing good time, you and me. It looks like His Highness and Uncle Dieter have really hit it off. And I'll say, I guess they have more in common than I realize. Since we're on the subject, might I ask how well you can hold your liquor? I like to think I can keep up right when the libations begin to flow. Though I've certainly met my match in the past.
How curious. I detect a faint air of wistfulness about the prince.
Maybe he's remembering an old drinking buddy or something. Yeah, he's remembering his face in a bunch of bottles and a bar in Roland. I know your deeds. Holy smokes! But everybody, we thought we're gonna meet Osborne, Chancellor freaking Osborne. Looking at the clock, I think we're like around the 45-minute mark maybe. So it's lit. We're probably no, okay. We'll do him. I hope it's not gonna just launch me into the next part of the conference that I get a time to do an outro, because that would be the perfect timing. But in case I don't, maybe I just make a saver for fun. Let's go. You're the SSS, correct? From the Crossbell Police? His Excellency is expecting you inside. Don't keep him waiting.
Right. Pardon us. He practically exudes arrogance.
Classic Imperial Army, overbearing as all Gehenna. Excuse us, Chancellor Osborne. We received word that you wish to speak with the Special Support Section.
Do come in. Magnificent view, isn't it? It's fascinating to think that mankind built a structure like this to look down on the world below. These walls in which we stand are proof that we finally attained the glory the ancient civilization once held.
So they are.
Are you referring to the ancient Zemurians from over 1200 years ago?
Everything I've heard about them makes it sound like they more or less had magic at their fingertips.
Theirs wasn't necessarily a utopia, mind you. During the last year's Liberal incident, a large floating city appeared over the kingdom. That city was constructed before the Great Collapse, yet was sealed away by human hands. It was a symbol of mankind's potential, as well as its hubris.
Our potential and hubris? You seem to be a very well-informed man.
Oh, I wouldn't say I know everything. As far as Crossbell is concerned, I haven't discovered nearly as much as that priest, Joachim Gwenter, did.
How do you?
It's what we don't know that lends weight to the affairs of the world. If you had everything in the palm of your hand, life as we live it would be helplessly mundane. Don't you agree, Wazy Hemisphere?
Oh, so you know of me. Or do you? I get the sense my name is the only dirty little secret of mine you've uncovered.
That would simply mean that you have none worthy of capturing my attention. No, my interests lie far more in the realm of the War God. More specifically, his successor.
Yeah? The Imperial Intelligence Division. Their ability to gather information is second to none.
Where are my manners? I am Gileath Osborne, representative of the Empire of Erebonia. I've heard much about you from Lechter. Care to join me for a friendly chat before the intermission ends?
Well then, Chancellor. What is it you wanted to discuss with us? You already seem all too aware of everything that's happening right now.
No need to overthink it. This is nothing more than a civil conversation. There is something I would like to hear your opinions on, however.
Our opinions?
Yes. I'll be frank. How long do you think your precious crossbell will last?
Bit of a loaded question, isn't it?
On the contrary, I bear no ill intentions. History tells us that no political entity can last in perpetuity. And that's discounting the Orbital Revolution, which has accelerated all aspects of the contemporary world. How much longer can a land as contested as Crossbell withstand the coming turbulence of this era?
I'm not sure. Forever! As long as there are citizens in this state who have the will to protect it. No.
True. Little matters more than having a solid will. A resolve, one might say. There are rare instances in time when trends are bucked, and the course of history itself is changed. The people are never truly powerless. I don't doubt the potential their resolve can hold.
Then you agree?
But consider this. What happens when two opposing resolves clash? It's simple. The lesser of the two would be engulfed, fanning the flames of upheaval hotter still. Now suppose these hellborn fires were to emerge again and again across the land. The integrity of morality itself would be smelted in the searing heat, until the world itself was ablaze. Such a phenomenon would surely be easy for you to imagine, would it not?
I can understand how Crossbell's resolve might seem lesser compared to that of the Empire or the Republic. But even a small flame is capable of burning bright. It's not a foregone conclusion that the larger will engulf it. Just as it wasn't when Liberl repelled the Imperial Army. That's right. It was 12 years ago, during the 100 Days' War.
Well played. Resolve is ultimately a question of tenacity. Liberl was small, but tenacious. It overcame the shambolic effort the Empire put forward. There's much Crossbell could stand to glean from that moment in time. However, I remain unconvinced that Crossbellans hold the same pride and conviction that the people of Liberl do. I'll leave things at that. Our intermission is coming to a close. It almost slipped my mind. Don't expect any medals from the Imperial government. The nobility grows even more irksome when awards are given to commoners.
Consider yourselves fortunate. I rarely see His Excellency in such an agreeable mood.
What?
Seriously? Is that what you call it? He seems to have taken a liking to you. I understand that it may be a tough pill to swallow, but I suggest you accept what he had to say. Though perhaps it is my place to tell you that, given my position.
That was horrible.
A man's a damn monster.
Either way, we can't let it get to us. We have to take his perspective at face value. Hey, Tio, you okay? Yes, I'll be fine. The imagery invoked was a little too vivid. I got lightheaded was all. I can't blame you. Even I could feel those flames he kept talking about breathing down my neck. Calling the Blood and Iron Chancellor a monster is putting things lightly.
He believes he holds the whole of Crossbell in the palm of his hands. Maybe, but I'm not so sure he called us here to torment us, believe it or not. The same goes for President Rocksmith. I think the interest they've taken in us is genuine, for better or worse. Let's just take it for what it's been, a learning experience. That's one way to look at it. I think we could all take a page out of your book once in a while. No kidding. Leave it to Lloyd to make a near-empty glass half full.
But he's right. There's no way we can let this slow us down. Of course not. What we should do instead is have it propel us forward.
In any case, I just about used up the rest of the intermission. Let's head back to Dudley and report on how both our meetings went. Let's indeed. The same day, 4:30 p.m. This, everybody, would be the perfect place to end off. It's time for the second half of the conference. And by all accounts, something's gonna go down. You're already hearing the outro music swelling, so you know it's time to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Carl, and this has been Trails to Completion.